The following broadcast is brought to you by Public House Media.
Hey everybody, welcome to Beauties and Headcanons, where we're nerdy and you probably are too. This is Emily and I'm here with my co-host Erica, and we're here to talk nerdy to you.
Hey everyone! Today we're going to be talking about Disney again, but not just any Disney. Disney you might have forgotten about. It's like those Disney movies.
Disney?
Yeah, that's
right?
Good point. But these maybe are Disney movies that are maybe hidden. Maybe you have the VHS somewhere in your basement.
Yeah.
They were greatly used growing up, but now you don't really remember them. So we're going to talk about some of our favorite ones that we kind of forgot existed until recently.
Yeah, or maybe ones that came out recently and you had no idea that it was out, or Disney.
Really good ones that maybe didn't know that were made by Disney, which is pretty awesome.
So yeah, all right. So I think first up we wanted to talk about one that we both love. Erica and I we've talked about how much we enjoy this movie before, and that one is Atlantis.
Yeah, it's just so obvious. People just forget that it's such a good movie.
Yeah. And I think people forget that it's a Disney movie.
Yes.
And I don't know why that is. Personally, I didn't realize it was a Disney movie until much later. But also, I feel like it's forgotten, and so people assume it's not Disney.
Yeah, because most of the not Disney movies kind of get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah. Oh, they totally do, which is kind of sad for the other movies. But it's a really big statement about Disney. So, yeah, but Atlantis has so much goodness in it. It's, first of all, I love the story behind, the lost city of Atlantis, just in general, from a, archaeological standpoint, from a scientific standpoint, from historical, and everything that, if there's documents that say stuff about Atlantis, anything like that, I just love it. So
Same,
I love the story.
Have they done a Doctor Who episode about Atlantis yet?
I don't remember.
They need to get on that.
They should. No, right now I'm watching a show called Stargate, and they have they have a show as part of the Stargate Empire called Stargate Atlantis. So I'm watching that right now. But anyways, so I love that. That's super fun. But the movie by Disney needs to have, it needs to be more awesomely popular, because the movie itself is really good.
It's a great movie, yeah.
Yeah, and there's humor, there's the nerdy guy who's, in charge of the expedition, and there's, the quirky crew that everybody, helps on the, going under the sea and everything.
Mm-hmm. I think it's on Netflix, too, so there's no excuse why you can't watch it.
Check it out.
I'm pretty sure. If not, I'm sure you can rent it from somewhere online.
Yeah,
Amazon, I think you can rent movies. So
you know what? People forget about this, but libraries have collections of DVDs. Check it out from the library. You get a whole week to watch it.
There you go.
And it's free. So, yeah, check it out at your library. But seriously, it's so good. It also, raises really interesting points about technological advances from the past that maybe have gotten lost.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that, too, because it's the Atlanteans were super advanced technologically, but they took their technology with them and kept it in their little bubble. So it's crazy that that it was there, and now the modern-ish ones that Milo was the leader of the expedition, going down into that going down into Atlantis, they had no idea how to work any of their technology because it was so far advanced.
Yep.
So I love it.
Great movie though. Yeah.
So good. Okay, next.
So I don't want to say my favorite one, but it's one of my favorite Disney movies I watched with my best friend growing up. Is the Aristocats, with little cats, and there's a lot of singing, and the cats get stolen by the butler. Was it the butler? I can't remember, but anyway, it's adorable. I think it's set in France. I'm pretty sure it's France.
I think you're right.
A long time ago. Came out in 1970, but it was I think it was from the 20s or 30s, I think is when it's set.
That sounds close, right? Yeah.
It was after Cars came out, I know that.
Yeah.
Cars were made, so not the movie Cars.
Yeah. Now, when I first
such a
heard
good
about
movie.
the Aristocats, I didn't realize that it was from the 70s, from 1970. I thought that it came out in like 94 or something like that.
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah. So it was weird because I was like, oh, the Aristocats movie is like this new one that I should probably watch. No, it was already like 10, 20 years old by the time I found out about it.
Same. I find that really fascinating that, like, this is way before I was born. Like,
Yeah.
20-some years before I was born. But still, as a kid, it was one of the movies that I always went to watch. Like, I wanted to watch.
Right.
So somehow
Yeah.
it managed to get into my VHS collection somehow.
Yeah, so that's a sign right there that it's a good one. That
Yeah.
even though it was from way before our actual time, way
Yeah.
before we were born, it still is, it was still one that just kind of made its way in there, kind of like a Cinderella or a Sleeping Beauty,
Yeah.
you know?
And it's all about cats. Like, so who can like just that? Unless you're really not a cat person.
I mean, I understand, yeah. I have a friend who's allergic to cats, and she still loves cats, so...
Yeah, I'm allergic to cats. So, like, it's
There
fine.
you go. There you go.
I own a cat, so
Yeah.
like, I'm fine. I survive.
Yeah, you make it work.
Yeah,
Take the necessary sacrifices.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So another movie that I think... All right, so a couple of qualifiers. So this one's The Brave Little Toaster from 1987. This one technically was not produced by Disney, but it was brought to America by Disney, you could say. It was like made mainstream by its debut on the Disney Channel, and through Disney's monetary contributions, it was kind of made possible. So Disney didn't actually go into any of the making of it, but there were a couple of like Pixar animators or producers that were involved with it before Pixar was a thing. So that's part of it as well. So I'm counting The Brave Little Toaster only because Disney kind of made it popular. My mom just loved The Brave Little Toaster when I was growing up.
I did
and she
too. It was
like
great.
her default, like, I don't know what to watch. Let's watch The Brave Little Toaster. So we did, and it was great. But to
Yeah.
this day, so in The Brave Little Toaster, it's where like these household appliances come to life and they like miss their master because he was gone and he was like going to go to college or something like that.
Yeah.
So one of them is like a desk lamp or something, and that desk lamp, I forget if it was the desk lamp or the heating blanket. There's this little blanket that has like a heater thing on it with a nose that's a knob. One of those two, I can't remember which, always reminded me of daffodils. And so for some reason, I just can't get that image out of my mind, and daffodils are like my least favorite flower ever.
Oh, that's so
I don't know what
sad.
it is. Yeah, but The Brave Little Toaster, it's about being resilient and, finding a way to get done what you want to get done.
It's a little scary too for a kids
yeah.
movie.
It actually
the-
was
the
kind of dark
appliances
in
come to
some
life.
places. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's good. I liked it.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Obviously, I grew up watching it, and I turned out fine. So.
Yeah, exactly. See, you're not.
It can't be
don't
that
get
bad.
scarred by one movie or a few movies. It's fine.
I'm just like really afraid of vacuums now. No big deal.
Right? Yeah. I mean, that vacuum was pretty angry at the world.
know,
though.
right?
He was like Mr. Grumpy Pants all the time.
No.
I also, whenever I vacuum, I also imagine vacuuming up the cords like that too.
Me too. Oh my god, it's so bad.
I know. My goodness. So maybe
like
we
one of
were
my,
a
like,
little scarred,
nightmares.
but not in
Like,
like the
just a
ways
little
that
bit.
make you mentally ill or anything.
But like in a good way. So like now I
Yeah.
like really pay attention to where I'm vacuuming.
Yeah, exactly. It helps. It helps with housework. So
Exactly,
that's
yeah.
great. Yeah. So yeah, I love that one. It's so good.
Yeah. All right. So my next one is Oliver and Company, which I don't feel like is forgotten. But then I think about it, and I'm like, I haven't seen it anywhere. Nobody really talks about it. It's not like going to be a remake anytime soon.
Right.
So
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like, yeah, I love this one too. And again, when this one, like, I don't know if it got like re-released on the Disney Channel or something, but I totally thought it was brand new in like 1998. What?
they might have started putting stuff out on the Disney Channel.
Yeah,
maybe
that's what was happening, and I just didn't know it. But like, yeah, I
It's
remember.
10-year difference, so who knows?
Yeah, I remember my parents were going to take me and my sisters to go see a play, and they told us we were going to go see Oliver, and I got all excited because I thought it was
Oliver.
Oliver and Company. but we were going to go see, like, Oliver Twist. I'm like, oh, that's not as exciting as I thought it was. But, I mean, Oliver Twist is a good story, too. It was just, like, it was not what I was expecting to go see.
No cute kittens or anything in there.
No. But Oliver Company is so good.
Oh, it's such a cute movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the cat that, it's this tiny little kitten that becomes friends with all these, like, rough dogs, and you don't expect that to happen. Mm-hmm. But it's a good time.
It's a cute movie.
Yes,
definitely forgotten. I kind of forgot about it, but I don't know, when I think about it, I'm like, I didn't really forget about it. It's just not, like, something I think about watching, because I don't see it in, my Netflix.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's the thing, is a lot of these movies aren't on your streaming services.
Not yet, Disney.
Come on. Well, Disney's going to have its own streaming service, so watch out for that.
But that doesn't come out until, like, 2019. I have to wait.
So we still have some time. Make your purchases now. Buy all the Disney DVDs so you don't have to pay for Disney's streaming.
Yes. My collection's pretty big, but I don't think I have Oliver and Company.
No, yeah, Oliver and Company's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So another one, though, that I have not honestly seen all the way through, but my husband keeps recommending it to me because he grew up with it, and what I saw of it has been so good. It's called The Rescuers. Now, you may be thinking The Rescuers Down Under, but no. This is not the same. It's similar because it has the same people in it. The Rescuers Down Under is the sequel to The Rescuers, and this came out in 1990. It's about a society of small mammals, mostly mice, and they kind of take they rescue and aid other animals in America, which is how then The Rescuers Down Under came to be, because those are the rescuers, that society in Australia. So The Rescuers is so great, and I feel like it just got overshadowed by The Rescuers Down Under because that one came out with a bigger bang, I think, and it got better publicity or whatever, and it came out at a time when the Disney Channel was popular, and so it got aired on the Disney Channel all the time or something like that. But yes, The Rescuers, the original movie, The Rescuers.
Yeah, I think I only saw that one maybe like a couple times.
You may have, yeah.
But usually we watched the second one.
yeah, exactly. So that's the thing, is like, the original one was good too. Just, people just tended toward the second one for some reason. I didn't know that The Rescuers existed until my husband was like, hey, we should watch The Rescuers. And I'm like, you mean The Rescuers Down Under? No. What? I had no idea.
Yep. It's a good movie, though. Definitely recommend.
Yes.
All right, so my next one is from 1973, and I think it's my sister's favorite Disney movie, so that's probably why I enjoyed it. But it's Robin Hood, the original Robin Hood with I think he's a fox.
Yes.
Or she's a fox.
Mm-hmm. They're both foxes.
Foxes, yeah.
That's how you know they're supposed to be together, because they're both the same kind of animal.
That's true, yeah. But it's just such a cute movie.
It is. I love the Robin Hood story, too, though, just in general.
Yeah, and I think they made it really kid-friendly while also playing true to the story, which I think is nice.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that one was done really well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Okay. I love The Emperor's New Groove. And I don't know if this one is forgotten. I know, like, who doesn't love this? I don't know if it's forgotten, because I love it so much that I always, I've never forgotten about it.
I haven't either, so maybe.
I don't know if it's forgotten or not, but I feel like when I talk to people about it, they're like, oh, yeah, it's been a while since I watched that. What?
You need to watch it again.
Yeah, you need to watch it again, obviously. Yeah. So, it's set in, was it Aztec time? Mayans or the Aztecs, some kind of Central American native people.
It's in Peru, right?
In Peru, in Peru, where llamas and alpacas are all over the place. Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's got David Spade as the voice of the Emperor. It's got, what's that guy's name that plays Kronk? I don't remember his name.
I'm really bad with knowing the names of animated characters, actors.
Yeah, but anywho, so lately, there's a sitcom called Rules of Engagement, where the guy that's the voice for Kronk in Emperor's New Groove is like a main character. And David Spade plays a character in it as well. And I'm like, this is funny because it's the same guys from Emperor's New Groove. So it was,
awesome.
It's a pretty funny show too. So Rules of Engagement, check it out. But Emperor's New Groove is so good because it teaches lesson about, even though you were born into a certain station in life or whatever, that doesn't like rule you out from, or that doesn't mean you have to look down on others, or you don't have to stay within your station. You don't have to be a meanie head, because like that's how the Emperor was, and now he's got a new groove, so his new groove is like way better. So I love it. It's so good, and it's hilarious.
Great movie. Yeah, and they made a bunch of like sequels and stuff, didn't they? And like there was like a TV show, and
I feel like they did. Yeah, there's the Emperor's New Groove. There's Kronk's New Groove that came out.
Okay, so maybe not forgotten, but definitely something you need to go back and rewatch.
Yeah, maybe like shoved under the rug for a while because a bunch of other stuff happened. But it's a good one.
So my last...
Yeah.
What? Sorry. What were you
I was going to say Emperor's New Groove has tons of like quotable lines in it too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I see like memes of that movie all the time.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe it isn't forgotten, but if you did forget about it, you should really go ahead and remember it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so my last animated movie, one that's like live action too, is Alice in Wonderland, the original 1951 like animated version. I'm a huge fan of the book, so I loved that it was made into a movie, and like really, I thought didn't really fit with the book as well, but it was good. And then since they made the like live action version of it, I feel like people forgot that it was better as an animated movie. I
think you might be right about that it was an animated one before. And when I watched the animated movie as a kid, like a whole bunch, and I was like, oh yeah, I know the Alice in Wonderland story and yada yada. I watched it again like after college, and I'm like, were people high when they made this movie?
I mean, probably. I mean, it was 1951 though, so but I don't know.
I mean, it was a complete different perspective, watching it as a kid versus watching it as an adult. So if it's been a while since you've watched it, you might want to watch it again to see what different perceptions you get out of it. I don't know, but it's still good. Well,
when did color TV start being like widely popular? It could have been like point. in that time frame where they started.
Yep.
It started becoming a bigger thing, and they were like, we need to add all the colors because that's what people want to see.
Because there's so many like psychedelic scenes with all the colors you can possibly imagine. I think you might be right about that. Right around the 50s is when like colored TVs were becoming a thing. I think you're pretty close to that time frame. Yeah.
It would make sense if it was around that time, especially for that movie specifically, because there are so many colors.
I know, exactly. So we'll just say that's the reason.
Actually, no, it says right, 1950 CBS started it, and then 1953 NBC also had color.
Ah, okay.
So that's when the color TVs came out. So I'm guessing the movies were getting created, I guess, around that time.
I mean, if color TVs, you got to have something in color for color TVs to actually help you. So I think that's what happened.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites. It was such a good movie. Good. The book is better, but the movie was good too.
Yeah, no, I have to read the book because I haven't, and I've heard very good things about it. A lot
it kind of like hurts your brain a little bit because the wording is very like roundabout.
Oh,
if that makes sense.
that would give your brain a little cramp.
Yeah, there's a lot of like double and triple, quadruple negatives where you have to like unscramble them, and you're like, what are they actually trying to say? But that's kind of like the point of the book. Like you don't understand what they're saying.
It's an exercise.
Yes,
an exercise for your brain, which I say is a good thing.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll have to check out that book.
Yeah.
All right. So my last one is a live action movie that came out in 2016. And if you have not heard of this movie, I don't blame you. I hadn't heard of it until my father-in-law told me about it, because he sits around all day like perusing Netflix for like something he's interested in watching, basically.
Yeah.
Like that's one of his favorite hobbies. He watches people on YouTube and he looks at things on Netflix. So
Nice.
I mean, his whole life, he's always been all about like getting little bits and pieces of knowledge from anywhere he can get it. And so right now, a lot of it he gets from watching things. So I haven't told you guys about my father-in-law a lot before, but he has MS, so he's actually homebound and is losing a lot of his like physical faculties. But one of the few things he can still do is watch things and listen to things. And so he loves to watch historical based documentaries or like really good reality TV shows. Like one of them he loves is called Ice Pilots, about these pilots in Canada where they have to fly through like ice storms and stuff. So like, he loves that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So anyways, background on how I found out about this movie. That's my father-in-law for you. But before he was homebound, he actually would do a ton of reading about history and wars and like handyman things and stuff like that. So like he's just like an information grabber. So that's how I found out about this movie. It's called The Finest Hours. Came out in 2016, and it is based on a true story about the Coast Guard off the coast of Maine, or off the coast of Massachusetts, over there. So I was astonished when we watched this movie that it was Disney. He's like, "Oh, have you watched The Finest Hours yet?" I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Here, we're gonna watch it." So we put it on, and I'm like, "Wait, this is a Disney movie?" He's like, "Yeah, it
Shocker.
is." I know, I was amazed. And so we keep watching, and I'm like, "That's Chris Pine."
Ooh.
He's a big name actor. How did we not hear about this movie coming out? Like, I feel like there was absolutely no publicity for this movie coming out, but it's such a good movie.
Yeah.
I know, yeah. So the baseline of the movie is it's based on this true story about the Coast Guard going to rescue a ship that got stuck in the middle of a blizzard in one of the most treacherous parts of the shallow Atlantic, right along the coast of Massachusetts. And so somebody from the Coast Guard has to go out with a tiny crew of men to go and see if maybe this ship is salvageable, if there's anybody left to save. And he's like the only guy who thinks he can go do it, and it's amazing and it's fantastic, and you really, really should watch this movie, especially if you're into historical true story kind of ones, because it's so good. It's really emotional.
I'm surprised
too.
it didn't have more publicity.
I know, especially with like Chris Pine. Oh, and also Casey Affleck, Ben Affleck's younger brother, is in it too. And with those two guys, I feel like they should have at least had something. You know,
Yeah.
So weird. So, anywho, The Finest Hours, so good.
Well, this one isn't as exciting, but my last movie that is also live action, kind of, technically it is.
Technically it is, yes.
I mean, it is. It just, there's a lot of words dubbed, I guess would be the right
well,
word.
I don't think they move their mouths, do they?
No, they don't.
No, it's just the cameras on them. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm talking about Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey, the story about the two dogs and the cat who are left at their aunt's, their owner's aunt's house, and they like traveled to, I think San Francisco is the city, and the animals are like, they left us, we have to go find them, and then they travel across the mountains to go find them, and they find them, which is ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness.
And that one dog gets like porcupined in the face.
Oh, I know.
Remember that.
The cat had to swim across the river, I think, too, and almost drowned.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, poor thing.
I know.
But yeah, it came out in 1993, so it's kind of old. But it's on Netflix, I believe. I think I saw it on there a couple days ago. Definitely recommend it. It's fantastic if you haven't seen it. It is a little cheesy because the animals, like, they just are just shooting like film of the animals, and then they're putting words over the top of it.
Right. The animal dialogue is like, it's looking at the golden retriever when the golden retriever's talking. It's looking at the cat when the cat's talking. So it's a little
There's famous actors in it though, and I can't remember who they are, but the main people are like big names. Like, you would have to like check it out, but
maybe you didn't forget about this one though, and you always remembered that it was really good. I remember
always
growing up and having it on, like, we would catch it randomly on TV all the time.
Yeah. Oh, Disney Channel had it on all the time.
Yep. We would just randomly like, oh look, Homeward Bound is on again. Is that the one with the cat and the dogs? Yep. Okay.
Yep. And the main guy that I remember now is Michael J. Fox. He's the younger dog.
Yes. Oh, yes. I love Michael J. Fox.
Forget that.
No. Yeah. Seriously. Homeward Bound is another good one. Yeah.
Oh, such a good movie.
Mm-hmm. So that's all we've got for our favorite forgotten Disney movies. But if you have any other suggestions for movies that maybe you feel are forgotten, that people should remember, or that maybe nobody ever found out about, that should be brought to the forefront, post those on our Facebook page, because we'd love to see what your guys' thoughts are too. Thanks for getting nerdy with us though. And check us out on Stitcher, Spreaker, Google Play Music, and on iTunes. And also now on iHeartRadio, I hear. Super awesome and exciting. Woo woo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that is cool. And like I said, share with us on our Facebook page. You can share, the movies that you think we should also know about, or that maybe we should have mentioned in this episode. Or you can also share topic suggestions with us, too.
And also, a huge thank you to Public House Media for making this show possible. Be sure to check them out on Facebook. They also are on Twitter at the PH Media, or on our website, thephmedia.com, to stay up to date on our podcast, as well as other shows on the network.
All right, awesome.